Diecast race fans. I'm Tom Spanners Watson.
And I'm Frank the Guru Gibbs.
And it's time for the V8 Super Sprint Finals.
That's right, it's going to be a huge night. The points have reset to 0 and we're running the exact same point structure as per the previous events. But let's have a look at who's racing where.
Okay, up front we've got D. Platt for Team Plasma and Chris Carhooner for Big Carhooners. Then we've got Marc D for CRC Racing and Matthew Harding for WCDC. And in the back row, starting off, we've got Rockatansky for MFP and Ezra Dillon for EMA.
Platt starting in position 1, where I'm predicting he's going to finish for the night.
Alright mate, settle down, don't get ahead of yourself. Well, let's go to the top of the canyon.
Platt definitely favoured to win this, being the fastest car overall.
Well, we're about to find out as they get underway for race number 1. Platt's going to come out with the lead here, closely followed by Marc D, Chris Carhooner in behind. Platt spins, Marc D and Chris Carhooner go through. Matthew Harding going down for third. No, he stalls out. That's a real shame.
Only one finisher from each team, that's it. Oh no, there we go. There goes D. Platt.
And we've got Rockatansky and that's Ezra Dillon stalled out. Let's go back through the Big Carhoona replay. So the two Aussies led over the jump, Chris Carhooner close in behind, but then both Aussies spin. D. Platt goes particularly wild. That let Marc D and Chris Carhooner go through. There's Ezra Dillon right at the end.
Wow, he got a huge bounce there. And oh, look at that, he just flops right over the side.
And Platt up front here gets into a big drift, can't quite control it, with Marc D and Chris Carhooner tucking in clean there, and then Matthew Harding also gets around but just unable to complete. So 8 points to Marc D for a great race there. Chris Carhooner picks up 6 and D. Platt on 4. The others 1.5, 1 and 0.
Definitely disappointing for Platt after leading the race to spin out, but at least he crossed the finish line.
Right, ready for race 2.
Let's see if the boys can tidy it up this time.
And they're away. Ezra Dillon up front for the Kiwis, but Platt storms ahead. Comes out of KM corner with the lead. Ezra Dillon in behind. Carhooner. Oh, Ezra goes over. There goes Chris Carhooner. Slips right around D. Platt. Was he having a nap there or something?
I don't know, but that is just tragic. What was Platt doing?
That's Matthew Harding over, and Rockatansky's on his roof. What the heck happened in behind?
Let's go through the Big Carhoona replay. So Ezra Dillon goes over, Harding goes over, they stalled out Marc D, and then, oh, that was just Rockatansky taking himself out. But look at the way that Ezra Dillon gets himself back on his wheels, because he was on his roof, and then he just rolls himself over, gets back on his wheels, but unfortunately for him, can't get much further.
But look at this overtake from Chris Carhooner. That was an exceptional piece of driving.
Yeah, I've got to say, props to Carhooner. That was a very clean overtake. Platt absolutely caught napping there.
So Chris Carhooner moves into first place on 14 points. Platt just giving away points yet again. Sits in second place on 10, but Marc D, disappointing with that 0, stays on 8.
Yeah, not his best work, but he's got plenty of time to come back yet.
So Rockatansky and Ezra Dillon up front as they lead out for race number 3. It's a clean start for all drivers as they get underway. Kiwis tight group into KM corner, but Ezra Dillon makes a break for the front. Oh no, he's completely blowing it. He blocks the track. No, he just blocks the Kiwis. Lets the Aussies through. What was he doing?
Thanks very much for that. We appreciate the assist. Nice that you take out your own teammates.
Let's go back through the replay and find out what he was doing there.
Your guys are driving about as well as the Warriors play, mate.
Hey, well, fair call, I suppose.
So he comes in, gets a nice bit of a drift, but then just ping-pongs off the track and totally stalls out. Then Rockatansky gigs in Chris Carhooner by the look of it, and Matthew Harding had rolled himself over. But again, a very nice drive here from D. Platt, picks up the win, closely followed by Marc D, and then Ezra Dillon takes third.
So that puts Platt back at the top of the list now. Chris Carhooner on 15 points drops into second. Marc D holds on to third place on 14. This is definitely not the start that the Kiwis wanted. We're just going to take a quick break. We'll be right back after this. Alright, welcome back. We're into race number 4 this time. Oh, bit of a false start there, but they get underway. This time Matthew Harding up front with Rockatansky. Harding will come out with the lead, Rockatansky close in behind. Oh, here comes Platt pushing through. Ezra Dillon with the overtake, tries to get through to the finish, and that was close right down to the wire.
Yeah, it sure was. We got Chris Carhooner spun out, but let's go back through the big Carhooner replay and watch what happened there. They were very tight going over the jump there. Then D Platt tries to make a move around Rockatansky, can't do it. Ezra Dillon pushing hard from underneath. You'll see it on this angle here. They come in, Matthew Harding gets a bit of a nudge from Rockatansky, that spun him around, but Ezra Dillon with just a fantastic move there, manages to shut out Platt, get between him and Rockatansky. Rockatansky clipped Harding, that slowed him down, but he was just going fast enough that he held out Ezra Dillon.
Platt holds on to first place with 21. Marc D moves up into second now with 16 points. A disappointing finish from Chris Carhooner after such a good start.
Both Platt and Carhooner are going to have to tidy their driving up if they want to stay at the top of the table like this.
This time we've got Marc D and Matthew Harding in the front row as they lead out. Harding storms ahead of the field here. Marc D and Harding level pegging. Oh, Marc D pushes Harding from behind, but a clean run down to the finish for 4 of them at least. Where are the other 2 at?
Oh, Chris Carhooner's blocked out D Platt. That's some dirty play there.
Well, let's just go back through the big Carhooners replay and find out just what happened. Marc D and Matthew Harding battling hard up front. Oh, Matthew Harding almost rolling there. And then Ezra Dillon right in behind Marc D. Chris Carhooner spins out and D Platt just runs right into the side of him.
Again, Carhooner ending up with minor points and holding Platt back with him.
So after that, Marc D now moves into first spot with 22 points.
And while I'm very pleased to see 2 Aussies at the top of the table with 8 points up for grabs and the number of DNFs and low scores, this is actually anybody's race from 4th place to 1st. It's all going to come down to this last race.
So Chris Carhooner gets into the front row this time, lined up next to Marc D for race number 6. This is it. Marc D very quick out of the gate. He's going to hold on to the lead as they go over the jump. Ezra Dillon makes a move around Rockatansky and Carhooner goes over, blocking the Kiwis, but they get around. Rockatansky makes another move, but they hold him out. Marc D holds on to first spot. Matthew Harding second, Ezra Dillon third. Now, Rockatansky will take 4th, but only half points.
Oh no, and D Platt stalled out again. Let's just go back through that replay one more time. So, Marc D, a very clean run there, and then Chris Carhooner got it all wrong, rolls himself over. Then he started to block his teammates yet again, which just seems to have been the theme of the night for the Kiwis. But look at that move there. Both Harding and Ezra Dillon creating space, pushing Rockatansky in. But that means that the winner, as I predicted, was an Aussie.
Yeah, look, congratulations Marc D for CRC Racing. A superb drive there. Very consistent, picks up 30 points overall, well ahead of next place, which is also an Aussie. And thankfully, we've at least got 1 Kiwi in the top 3.
I got to say, after those first couple of races with Chris Carhooner storming ahead there, I was getting really concerned. Thankfully for us, and sorry for him, he just completely bottled it from then on. But some fantastic consistency from Marc D for the win.
Well, this has been a huge amount of fun for us, but I definitely want a rematch.
Oh, I'm down for a rematch, mate. I don't mind beating you guys.
Let us know in the comments if you'd like to see a rematch as well.
I reckon we could take you guys 1, 2, 3 next time.
Oh, we are so gonna whip you next time. Hey, if you've enjoyed this video, make sure to hit the like button, leave us a comment, and don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell as well so you never miss a video. We got tons of very cool stuff coming up. That's enough for us tonight. I'm Tom Spanners Watson, he's Frank the Guru Gibbs. We'll see you next time.